जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ಲಕ್ನೋ ಜಂಕ್ಷನ್
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
Just trying to make sense of this innings. I'm not being able to, so I'll leave it in the good hands of Simon Doull and Adam Gilchrist. It started one way, so it kind of went another way, and then it has ended the same way as it started. So I'm not sure really what it is, because there was a patch in the middle of proper brilliance. And when you look down that scorecard, no disrespect to them, but purely in terms of experience, those would be the least likely guys to give you that, Gilly.
Yeah.
Tilak Varma and Nehal Vadera. Good on them. Excellent play today when all the experienced big guns have kind of done a march past. They've kind of gone back and forth. These two have stuck in the middle, got what I will call an almost century stand. They got a 99-run stand at a time when the team was properly in trouble, and they've got them to respectability. You'd have to say on this ground, 200's not been scored, so 179 respectability. But you can start with either. You can start with either the brilliance of these two youngsters or just how pretty much disappointing everybody else was.
Yeah, I'll focus on the positive. I think. I think that was that was a very impressive partnership. I think what they for young heads, they showed that there is still time in this format to rebuild an innings, to lay a foundation, albeit in a positive enough manner. I think you might have made the observation that
49 of 34 deliveries.
Yeah, so this is the overall partnership here. The numbers we're looking at, but
so the first 49 runs came in 34 deliveries. And the next 50 came in 18 deliveries.
Yeah.
So they've built, because 4 wickets were down for very little. I think, what was it, 50 or 60, they had 4 wickets down.
Yep.
They were 45 for 3 at the power play, so which means they were in proper trouble. And so these guys have actually shown that maturity. And I remember all of us were saying, oh, Hardik or Tim David should have come more experienced. But these guys showed that they weren't young chickens.
Yeah, even in commentary, I think they were talking about why has Hardik not come out? Why has Tim David not come out? But I guess in the end, you'd say that respectability. And when you saw Hardik at the back end of the innings, he's just struggling. He's just struggling to time the ball well, struggling to find gaps, get off strike, another 10 balls for 10 runs. When really you're looking for cameos at that stage. You're looking for 18 off 6, 7 balls. You're looking for 20 off 9, 10 balls. And he's just unable to bring that at the moment. So, I think Tim David should have come out ahead of him as well. But the partnership was superb. As Gilly said, they ran really well.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the keys to it.
Yeah. Well, it was ones and twos that kept that initial phase relatively risk-free cricket, but they kept well ahead of, runs per balls faced, and then that allowed them the opportunity to launch, and that 50-odd off 18 balls or whatever it was a really nice turning point. What I loved is how much they enjoyed batting with each other. And to the point where there was a review overturned and they were high-fiving and cuddling each other. It's like they've won the World Cup. But, I love that chemistry. And that's really nice to see. That's always been a beauty of the IPL, isn't it? The opportunity to younger, lesser-known players, particularly the Indian local players, that opportunity to get on a world stage, but you could see that they weren't overawed by it, and it was a terrific. That's given them a chance, a very decent chance.
We all had a laugh when that's probably been recorded as the first hug on the overturning of DRS call. They were so happy about it. I'm gonna probe further on one thing that you just said right now. You said Tim David should have come ahead of Hardik Pandya, which is what everyone felt in the end, because he was really struggling to time the ball. Counter that with, if your team is in trouble and you're actually in bad form, and Gilly, I'll ask you as a batter, if you're in bad form, perhaps better to come when the requirement is just run a ball, holding things together, rather than when there's fireworks required?
Yeah, that might have been a nice time for him to come in, for the captain to walk out. Once I sort of got why they sent Nubby in. I think he showed that he played a couple of balls and then maybe he's got power and he can get it done.
Max that power play over from Adesh.
Yeah, so I sort of got that, but it was when he got out that I thought that was the opportunity. And you're right, it might have been a very good time to just hit some ones and allow that, even though it's a younger player that's already in there in Tilak, let him take the more senior role in that partnership and ease your way through to it. Because, the only way you get out of that rut that you're in is to face more deliveries, more and more deliveries, and you're short on time in this format in that regard. So it's compounding a little bit. It's getting sort of snowballing and gathering momentum, this sort of phase that he's in. I think Tim David looked particularly frustrated walking off again, as he did against Chennai, where he just thinks, I'm just not getting the opportunity to do what I'm paid to do.
Yeah, and not getting enough deliveries. And opportunities are arising in games when you think, it's a perfect time to send Tim David. I mean, look, let's say, reverse the situation. Let's say Kyron Pollard was sitting in the dugout playing, not sitting in the dugout watching, and he and Hardik Pandya were there. Kyron Pollard would always go out first. Yeah. In that situation with 3 overs, 3.5 overs, 4 overs to go, Pollard would definitely be out there. They've bought Tim David to do Kyron Pollard's job. Yeah. That would be the simple answer to the question.
And it's a matter of, and I'm sure Hardik will get back to his best at some stage, but as an opponent, sitting there going, who would you least like to come out in that little passage?
Fair point, fair call, but that's why we're saying 10 of 10 at that stage hurts his team more, but 10 of 10 if when they were 52 for 4 would have actually helped his team.
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't have minded that then. There was some questions around why send another left-hander out as well. You've already got a left-hander out. A lot of teams love that left-right combination. So they went with 2 left-handers as well, which may have been against the grain. But, I mean, the questions we don't know, and we sit here and we speculate. We don't know who's pulling the strings. Either, who's controlling the puppets? Is it coming from the coach? Is it coming from the management? Is Hardik making all these decisions himself? Possibly not. So
with that think tank, as I said, it's a big tank.
It's a big tank.
It's lots of thoughts.
It's a big tank. So there's room for a lot of thoughts and a lot of different thoughts as well in and around it.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing. It's not like the captain is sitting there and saying, no, I don't want to go out now. Definitely. With a team which has got such a big support, and you'll tell us, Gilly, I mean, you've been a captain, you know that a lot of times a lot of people get involved in it. So it's not just, you'd want it to be completely the captain's call, but sometimes it's just not. It's a bit of a committee.
Yeah, tradition always was that the captain set the batting lineup, captain made the calls. All I would say, if it is different to that in this particular environment and that franchise, what Hardik needs to understand is that it's his head that's going to be on the chopping block should things not go well, which are not going particularly well at the moment as a team or individually. But the buck stops with the captain. I mean, you can't be looking elsewhere. The captain stands and holds the trophy aloft if you're successful.
Fair point.
That'd be my words of warning to anyone that has the captaincy armband on that then is looking to allow others to make calls on his behalf.
Meanwhile, for the other captain, things just keep going well. We're talking about Sanju Samson and his Rajasthan bowling lineup. Sandeep Sharma, injured the last few games, comes in and, he is a wily old fox, isn't it, Dooley?
He's brilliant. I mean, it just shows you don't have to bowl 140 clicks. I mean, the opening spell was 120, 123, 124, swinging the ball away from Ishan Kishan, picking up that little edge there. But he's just so clever. There's variations, the knuckle ball, the leg cutter ball that he bowls, they kind of float at you. There's just nothing to work with at the back end. He can also hit wide Yorkers. He's such a skillful bowler when it comes to either end of the innings. And it was great to see him back. And it was sort of the piece that they might have felt they were missing a little bit.
5 games.
5 games he was out for. So it's a long time. But, it was a brilliant performance. And just nothing to hit at the back end. Pace off. And the surface looks like it might just be holding a little bit. Time will tell whether that is a good score or not. But the way they batted through the middle, which is normally the tougher time to bat, would suggest that it's not a bad pitch.
Yeah, that's why I'm so confused. I can't make head or tail of it the way they've gone. But just sticking on Sandeep Sharma, he's missed 5 games. He's come in today like, he was bowling yesterday. He's had dream figures. Let me tell you, this is an equivalent for a batsman would be 100 of like 46, 45 balls, 40 balls even. You bowl 4 overs at 4.5, picking up 5 wickets. This is one of the days you write about in your book.
Yeah, I'll claim him. We debuted him at Kings 11 Punjab when it was known as that. And I was captain, so
Nice.
nurtured him along.
I just want to ask you, was it the captain or the think tank?
No, actually, was a think tank. I hadn't seen him before I turned up. But, no, he's skillful. It's showing experience and knowing his game, not trying to be anything different other than what he knows he can produce. So, but you're right, that's an equivalent of 100, well and truly.
Yeah, it was just fantastic today. And let's also talk about the little champion. Talk about Yuzvendra Chahal. Jeez. You love that bloke off the field. You love that bloke on the field. Such a competitor, such a character. Couldn't have happened to a nicer bloke as well. I mean, a champion bowler, but a super nice bloke.
Yeah, 200 wickets, 153 games. Always great to chat to. Loves the game. You know, I mean, he's such a character on the field. But those numbers are phenomenal. Look at Bravo. What's he? 8 games in front.
Yep.
For only 183. So Chola's so many games in front. Boovy. They're all played more games.
Yep.
For less wickets. So that shows you what a gem he's been.
Yeah.
But also, and we've talked about this prior, he's played half of his IPL games, or probably, let's say, a third. At Chinnaswamy.
Yeah. I think he's played, 46, I think.
46, is it?
46
so
out of...
a third, almost a third
Yeah.
at Chinnaswamy on a postage stamp of the ground.
Correct.
And he's still going across his IPL career at 7.74. Across his whole career at 7.74, having played 46 games at Chinnaswamy. And then he would have played a few at Mumbai as well.
Yeah.
Which is also not big.
Yeah.
Not the best ground for spinners.
Yeah.
So just put those numbers into context. It just shows you what an absolute gem he has been. I mean, he is IPL greatest team of all time, hands down.
Correct. I remember he said that his attitude always was, I asked him, I said, what about bowling at Chinnaswamy? And he says, I want the batters to hit me for a 6. Hit me for a 6. How many 6s can you hit me for? He says, 1, 2, come on, go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
Is that important for a spinner to have that kind of heart, to not be scared of getting hit for a 6?
I think so. I guess there's different styles of spinners around, but that's that comes from just his whole approach to everything. He's vivacious, he's bubbly, so it's no surprise that he's going to happily take on a bit of risk for the ultimate reward. But I guess there is substance to that philosophy, is that we've always said in any cricket the best way to stem a run flow is take wickets.
True.
So you get 200 of them, you're probably going to be more around that 7.5 than 9 or 10 and over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's I agree, one of the all-time great players of the IPL.
I think the only thing for Rajasthan to worry about is that Ashwin's not had a particularly good day today. We saw innovation on his run-up today. It was a little hop, skip, and jump kind of run-up
a couple of things
we saw in the last over.
But again, he's gone for 7.8, which is below the average of the score.
True.
He's gone for 31 and 4. The wickets might be starting to concern him a little bit, but he's not searching. He's not going searching. He's still bowled nice and tightly. He allowed the bowlers at the other end to pick up wickets. It's not happening for him as far as the wickets are concerned. But again, he's bowled 4 very tidy overs.
Yep.
So there's no knock on him again today. I mean, with what Sandeep's done, with what Boult did up front, Yuzi's gone for 48 in his for one over where he got collared. It wasn't even a bad over. A lot of these times you look at these figures and you think, if he's bowled poorly, you go, oh, it was a bad day.
Yeah.
He hasn't bowled poorly.
Yeah.
He's just been collared in 1 over.
Correct.
By a couple of very, very good shots and a couple of good players. So
that happened to him with Nehal Vadera and Tilak Varma. There was the 14, 15, 16 that we were talking about. There was Chahal, there was Avesh, and I think the third one was Trent Boult. I think there was a Trent Boult over.
Yeah.
That went. So those are the ones that went for runs. All right. When you look, it was Sandeep, Yuzi, and Avesh. That was the one that went for 50. We have a look at the batting lineup once again. And today Mumbai will look at this. And yes, while we celebrate Nehal Vadera and Tilak Varma, there's some big bats over there who will be looking at that and going, we can't let this happen again.
In this order, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a disappointing return, isn't it, from the top three?
Yep.
For sure. We highlighted Rohit. He's having a successful run individually in this tournament to this point, but Ishan Kishan's shown signs throughout, but not consistently, and hasn't played the real match-winning innings. The big guns aren't firing. That's as simple as that. and certainly if one of them has, which has been a bit one out, and that's been Rohit. But yeah, the positive is Tilak, Videra.
They still got a rescue despite that.
Yeah,
That's what you say.
Yeah, they're in the game. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They'll rely again on Bumrah. So if they can get it right with the ball and be interesting to see how Chahal goes with his leg spin on that. It looked. I agree. I don't think Chahal bowled badly in any way, shape, or form. But I think a sign of how decent the pitch is just when he attacked with a sort of that back spinner attacking the stumps. It was very easy for those guys to get that slog sweep. Yeah. So maybe Yuzi was thinking they were going to try to sweep and miss, potentially miss and go for the LB. But when it's a slightly more, upright bat, the bat swing, you can get it through and clear it. So it wasn't easy for the spinner there. So yeah, but they've got to improve their bowling effort, not just rely on Bumrah.
What about
their batting lineup? I think there was just some very clever bowling up front as well. I mean, Sandeep's ball to Ish and Kishan, not a great shot. It was just really wide of off stump. Opening the batting, kind of searching for one, trying to get one in the middle early on, picks up an edge. The ball to Sky was brilliant. Brilliantly bowled. Full enough, set the field. So he's bowling to a field with 2 men out on the leg side inside the power play only. He knows he cannot give any width off stump at all. Taking the pace off, using your long on and your deep backward square, and just taking pace off and saying, good luck, you want to hit me? We're going to go a little bit fuller and try and hit me. And he couldn't do it. So I just think there was, some high quality bowling up front. Yeah. Rohit will look at his shot and think, could have done better. Yeah. It was a bit of a hoy across the line, but I mean, comes off the middle of the bat, goes into the grandstand, and we're all lauding it. So you can't be too critical.
180 to get for Rajasthan to maintain their supremacy at the top of the table. Can they do it? Can they be stopped? Can they do it? Can they be stopped? Can they do it?
Oh, they can do it. They can do it. They got the firepower all the way down, even to not necessarily have to rely on Joss at the top. I think they've got recovery mission experts all the way through there. I would I expect them to get there. Of course, that's the
batting. Joss Butler's come in.
Joss Butler will be coming in there. So whoever usually goes out. Oh yeah, they've highlighted there. Sorry. That's a nice batting lineup, actually. Yeah. So as long as they don't panic and try to get too far ahead of it, just build the innings, play your natural game, play what's in front of you. They're all such natural ball strikers. True. So they wouldn't need to be too calculated in premeditate anything. Just go out, play the ball on its merits. They're a talented bunch.
And as far as the bowling is concerned for Mumbai, they've also made that change. They've got Nuwan Tushara in, and this is their bowling lineup. We'll have a look at that as well. Of course, a lot relies on Jasprit Bumrah. Yeah. But hey, you've got Gerald Kurtzi, you've got Piyush Chawla. Again, lots of experience, can use the conditions if it has something. They have got the bowling lineup. They use it cleverly.
I think Rajasthan have got their noses in front. I don't know that it's going to be an easy chase. Yeah. For Rajasthan, it's going to be about pegging them back in that power play. If they get off to a flying start, you kind of think they can break the back of the chase. If they lose a couple of wickets in the power play, put a little bit of pressure again on the likes of Riyan, Parag in that middle order, and try and get Hetmeyer and Powell in early enough that they're not just coming and needing a little cameo of 20 off 10 balls or something like that. If they can get those guys in early enough, make them bat properly, they're a chance. They've got a bowling attack that's got a lot of variety tonight with Piyush back. So they've got the variety there if they need it, but they're going to need some wickets early. And I think, 2 in the power play minimum, or it could just get away on them.
Ooh, 2 in the power play means they're not getting more than 44 then.
Well, is that your score?
No, I'm just asking. I was guessing if that's yours.
Just write that down.
Is that your guess?
Just write that down for the GK. He's 44. 4.
Thank God I put a question mark in front of it. Thank God. What's your power play guess? Come on, boys.
54.
54 score.
47.
47, 54. I should go higher then, yeah? Doesn't make sense to go lower. 58. 58. 59. 59. There you go.
We've gone from 44 to 58 to 59.
Yeah. Okay. 58, 59. What did I say?
He often has 3 guesses.
I didn't put a question mark in front of each of them.
That's how it worked out. You're at the top. You often have a number of guesses.
Yeah, that's what I do. I wish we could just roll the tape back and just keep that in the end. So I would just come in a day before and just go 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50 and just stop one. What have you written for me? 58, 59? What have you, 58? Okay, you've written 58 for me. So there you go. So that's 58, 54, 47. Those are our numbers. That's it. We're done. We'll see you at the end of the 10th over with Cricbuzz Combox. So do join us then. Right now, from all of us here, it's thank you for watching Cricbuzz Live. Ta-ta.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस पौड़ोबोटी स्टेशन नेताजी भवन कृपया ध्यान दें